Good morning. We are going to be harvesting some rose hips. Okay, so we're going to start here. We have quite a few here. Hopefully we can find some that are good enough to harvest. We want to look for clear rose hips that don't have holes in them. Going to make some rosehip infused oil for skin, so let's prepare our rosehip. I have prepared my rose hips. I've cut them in halves or quarters. We really want the seeds to be exposed to the oil. I also have some dried rose hips. They are a really beautiful, rich, deep red color. So when you are drying rose hips, it is also best to cut them in halves or quarters instead of dry them whole. Although you can still cut them up, so I'll probably cut up a few of the ones that I have dried and add them to my mixture. If you're going to be using the rose hips to make tea, then you're going to want to remove the seeds. I prefer to use them for skincare, and that way you don't have to remove the seeds. You can just enjoy all of their benefits. The reason why rosehip oil is so expensive in the store, even for a tiny bottle, is because they cold press the oil out of the seeds, which is supposed to be the best extraction method. However, I do believe this is still a very nice facial oil. We're going to use olive oil for our carrier oil today. I do prefer to make my own rosehip oil at home, not only because of the expensive price in the stores, but also because I know what is going in it and there's not all of these additional ingredients that I don't know about. You can also use apricot oil, sunflower oil, jojoba oil, or a mixture of different oils. Beautiful color. Now there are a few different ways you can cook your infusion. You can use a slow cooker. You can use a heat-proof container inside of a pan, but you are going to want to simmer your infusion on low between 4 to 8 hours or longer. I usually cook mine longer, as I get a deeper color and also a richer smell. I usually allow my mixture to simmer for around 10 hours. Now this oil is so good for skin because of its high vitamin C and vitamin A content, which both work similarly to stimulate collagen production, protect your skin from environmental factors like pollution and UV radiation, and also protect your skin from ultraviolet light damage. Now you can also do a cold infusion, which is when you would put your rosehip into an airtight container along with the oils and let them sit in a cool and dark spot for 6 months. Then you would simply strain the contents and you would have a rosehip infused oil. However, this method is good if you want something right away. This oil will help with cell renewal and damaged areas on your complexion. It can help with healing the appearance of scars and acne, and also to smooth blemishes. It absorbs really nicely into the skin, and it just gives you a good glow, and it's non-greasy. It also boosts the immunity of your skin, which is your largest organ. So it helps your skin with fighting infections. It had already been dried. It can fade hyperpigmentation, so dark spots, sunspots, and other hyperpigmentation. And you are feeding your skin deep nourishment because of rosehip oil's fatty acid content. It deeply moisturizes the skin, strengthens the skin barrier, and also helps your skin to stay moisturized for a longer period of time. It has been been several hours, y'all. I have mixed this up a few times. I put this in at 1 p.m. and it is now 10 p.m. So I let it cook just a little bit longer because it smells richer and deeper, and I just can't wait to put this stuff on my face. I do think that it is better to use the fresh rose hips. However, the dried ones are nice and soft, and their seeds have been cooking as well. Of course, this could be a culinary olive oil if you wanted it to be. Blend some of these seeds a little bit more. Oh, it smells so good. Definitely there's a lot of goodness from this plant extracted this way, and it just still makes wonderful skincare. And this was, you know, basically free, besides the bottle of olive oil that I've had for a while, the big one, as compared to a tiny little bottle of, you know, $33 to $40 of Rosehips oil, although it's cold pressed, so that's worth it sometimes to invest in. So I just turned my oven off, and I am going to let this cool down, and then we will strain it. So we are all done straining, and came out just beautiful. You can see it next to regular olive oil. You can see the difference, just how rich this is. It's best to do a skin test to see how your body's going to react to the oil. Now for storage for your rosehip oil, you will want to store it in a cool, dry place. And you'll want to store it in something like this that has a dropper you can use to squeeze up the oil and then put it in your hand. I'm not going to store it that way this time. I'm going to add a little bit of coconut oil because I'd like to keep it in the container that it's in, but I would like a thicker consistency, more like a body butter. So I'm just going to heat up some coconut oil, put it in there, and then stick it in the fridge and let it harden. So my rosehip oil is infused now with the coconut oil. It has been hardened. It's such a great thing to wear through the winter months, as you know, it's drier and the weather is more intense on your skin, but it has a really nice texture. So if you haven't looked into rose hips, if you have a rose bush, it's a great plant to make use of. You can see my oil still retains a beautiful golden color. Yeah, I'm really happy, and it smells very good.